Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jacqueline Wilson, and I would like to welcome you to the First Thought Podcast. Through our conversations, we seek to discover and learn the ways we can navigate through life's obstacles. During today's podcast, I will offer some great information on resourcefulness. When we harness the powers of our resources, we can achieve great things in our personal, professional, and financial lives. The ability to find quick and clever ways to overcome difficulties is resourcefulness. When things don't go as planned, resourcefulness becomes a very important trait. In some cases, without the ability to make decisions and act independently, you can bet that they can be the difference between success and failure. The root word of resourcefulness is resource, which means something someone has available to them. You can really hinder yourself a lot when you fail to use your available resources to complete a task. Most times, there are more than one resource available to help you achieve your goals. Therefore, one should seek to use their knowledge and creativity to overcome an obstacle that may seem as though you have none of the necessary resources to complete. It's now time to ask the First Lady. This is the fun part of the show that allows me to answer questions that are based on our topic while integrating real-life experiences. In doing so, I hope to open your mind to become all that you can be. Okay, let's see. Describe a time where resourcefulness came in handy. Well, the one time that comes to mind, I was in Florida, and I had just moved to Florida, and I actually had to go to a meeting. I had about a fourth of a tank of gas in my car, and I was on my way to my meeting, and I knew for sure that I was going to get gas once I got closer to the location. I had a GPS in my car, so I knew, okay, I'm about to make it. And interestingly enough, I missed the exit, and I ended up on Alligator Alley. It's a highway with no exits for about an hour. And it's along this strip of swampland where alligators actually live, reside, and eat people. So I was destitute. I didn't know what to do, but as a woman driving and being in a new state, I did have AAA. So I had to pull over, and there were several men around that were fishing and doing things, but I didn't really want anybody to know that I was out of gas. So I called my sister who lived way in Texas and told her all about my troubles. She said, what you need to do first is call AAA and just stay in the car. So I did exactly that. I called AAA. It took them about 45 minutes to get there, and it was getting dark, but I stayed in the car. And I think my big resourcefulness was making sure ahead of time that I had AAA and I had a phone in my car, and I called them to rescue me. So that's one that comes to mind. Okay, the next question, how often does problems occur where resourcefulness become an important trait? Quite honestly, I think all situations, because being resourceful means that you look at your options. You go and you ask for help. You engage people to assist in any way possible. I think that's an important trait every day. Okay, describe why resourcefulness is important in your field of work. I feel that resourcefulness is important in all fields of work and study. I think people benefit from reaching out and learning as much as they can, whether it's you watching a YouTube video or researching on Google or looking in an encyclopedia to find the answer. I think being resourceful is extremely important. Hey navigators, it's time for the beauty tip of the week. In this segment, we will discuss how to dress and stay warm in winter weather. So here we go. Well, where I live, it's cold now, and I learned long time ago after living in Denver, Colorado, that it's important to layer up. So you want to make sure. We actually bought long johns when I lived in Colorado, and I've since bought them here in Michigan. So if I'm wearing slacks or something like that, I'll put on either long johns or heavy tights. I always wear tights under my pants. It's just an extra layer of security and warmth. I also recommend wearing a cami or a t-shirt, whether it's short sleeve or long sleeve, under your shirts, under your sweaters. Even if you're wearing a blouse, you could always wear a simple cami or a spaghetti strap t-shirt, and it helps to layer and keep you warm. I always recommend that you have a scarf, your gloves, whatever you need. If you need earplugs, ear muffs, go for that as well. But make sure you stay warm, because you want to keep your body warm to prevent your immune system kind of acting up and maybe potentially catching a cold. That's my belief. My husband doesn't believe that, but I do. Before we end this episode of the First Thought Podcast, I would like to leave you with some gems that can help keep you motivated. The gem for today is planning. I want to give you a few tips to improve your planning. The first tip for the gem of the week is not to overplan. You don't want to overwhelm yourself with the amount of work that needs to get done. Next, you want to commit to a specific schedule. Set a deadline for when the plan needs to be completed. To help jumpstart your plan, think about ways you can execute. Outline ideas on how you can see your plan being implemented, or even talk to people you need before you actually start planning. This can be very useful to get people on board to what you're planning, which can bring you closer to accomplishing your goals. So, that is my tip for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, please, please rate this podcast positively, of course. And don't forget to subscribe. If you would like to submit questions for me to answer on the show, please contact me at JacquelineWilson@wang.edu. See you all next time. Bye.